Hello, everyone, and welcome to this audio podcast. This audio podcast as part of the Photon Saga. This audio podcast as part of a Ghromulin series, and this audio podcast as part of a Storm Robotics production. So, in this audio podcast today, looking at the analysis, and the limitations and sort of the conclusions in around this works from 2008, and looking at this works in around from 2008 and the role of endogenous opioids, EOPs in preconditioning in humans. So, as part of the analysis, ischaemia-reperfusion caused endothelial dysfunction. Dysfunction, ischemic preconditioning also prevented ischaemia-reperfusion induced endothelial dysfunction, and naloxone, the opioid receptor blocker, or block, yeah, the opioid receptor blocker, naloxone did not affect the protective basis of ischemic preconditioning against endothelial or IR injury, endothelial ischemic reperfusion injury, and the plasma beta endorphin concentrations remained unchanged during the ischemic preconditioning during the ischemic preconditioning stimuli. In around some of the limitations, the remote ischemic preconditioning stimulus utilized may not have been robust enough to produce a significant rise in beta endorphin. Analysis was only based unfortunately on two volunteers, which is not or was not a sort of representative basis. Plasma samples, plasma concentration samples were analyzed after 7 weeks, which may have affected the assay analysis, and the investigation did not incorporate an extraction process to which to an extraction process to purify plasma concentration samples, or plasma samples. In around the conclusion, uh, ischemic reperfusion alone caused endothelial dysfunction. Ischemic preconditioning protects against endothelial ischemia reperfusion injury, or IR injury, and the protective effects of ischemic preconditioning is not affected. It is not, or had not been affected by naloxone, and the activity of local beta endorphin during IPC, or ischemic preconditioning, is still yet to be identified and determined. That draws this audio podcast to a close. This audio podcast as part of the Ghromulin series. This audio podcast as part of a Photon Saga, and this audio podcast as part of a Storm Robotics production.